It has been a few months. On November 3rd of 2022, we opened a brand new print-on-demand Etsy shop with the goal of hitting $100,000 within a year. We had an explosive start, doing about $5,500 in the first 2 months, and we started the year out strong, doing about $1,700 in the slowest month of the year. And then the story started to change a little bit. If you've been following along with the series, you'll know that the last time I posted an update video was back in February. Since there hasn't been an update video in a few months, everyone's been asking where the series went, if I've completely given up on it, if I'm only doing YouTube for the ad revenue, and most importantly, what happened to the store. So if you're new to the series, here's a super quick recap. The way the series had been going was every week or two, I would post a new video up on my YouTube channel where I document every step of the process growing a brand new print-on-demand Etsy store right here on YouTube. The challenge has been the exact same since the beginning. Reach $100,000 by the end of the year. As I already mentioned, we were off to a great start. We were doing thousands of dollars in the first couple months and even during the slowest months of the year. Now, there were a lot of ups and downs throughout the first 3 months of the series, but nothing that I wasn't prepared for. And then I ran into some more complicated issues. The entire last 3 months can be summarized with this graph. It might not look like too much at first, but these numbers really show exactly what's happening with the store. See, a few months ago, at the beginning of the year, I released this video. The problem was that there was a 5-second window in that video where I accidentally showed the shop name. Now, throughout the challenge, I've done my best to keep things as transparent and open as possible, but I never showed the shop name for this exact reason. That video got about 35,000 views before I had even noticed that I leaked the shop name. Several thousand people out of those 30,000 saw it and went over to the shop, as you can see in this graph. This is important for 2 reasons. The first, less important reason, is that since more than half of the traffic that has visited the shop, as some of you in the comments have pointed out thinking that I've run ads, it has made the Etsy algorithm think that my entire new store is just terrible, to say the least. You can see that the conversion has gone down to 0.4%. For a comparison to that, a lot of my other shops will do anywhere from around 3 to 6% on average. Granted, there are some other factors like the reviews and social proof that those shops have, but still. When you drive a huge amount of traffic to your shop and it doesn't end up converting, Etsy doesn't want to drive their traffic to your shop because they think that's not going to convert either. Now, honestly, that isn't nearly as big of a deal as the next issue from accidentally leaking the shop name. See, most of the people just wanted to come and look at what the shop looked like and see if I was actually doing what I said I was doing, which is totally fine. But a handful of those people thought that it was a good idea, since some of those listings were already selling, to literally copy them down and post them for sale in their own shops. So out of the thousands of people that found the shop, several dozen of them decided to steal the listings and post them for sale in their own shops. So to make this super easy to understand, out of the maybe 400 products that I had posted at the time, maybe 10 to 20 of them were selling pretty well. And that's a pretty normal ratio from my experience. And since you can see which products are being reviewed and sold, some people just decided to go for some quick cash and copy those listings and repost them for sale. And some of my listings that were being reviewed had actually ranked on the first page of search results. But when you have 200 other copies of an almost identical listing, I think a majority of the customers just started buying some of the clone listings since they were cheaper and my shop wasn't particularly established either. Meaning the challenge shop doesn't have a particularly high amount of reviews to keep it highly ranked compared to a lot of the competition that was stealing the designs. On top of that, whenever I post something new and it gets a review, within a couple days, there will be 20 to 50 clones of it all across Etsy, just from people going back to look to see what I was selling. Now, for more context, copying on Etsy happens regardless of who you are. When you get a best-selling listing, clone accounts are going to copy your design and idea and repost them for sale, just like here on YouTube. The best listings that get a lot of reviews usually stay at the top of search results. The difference is when I'm posting new listings for sale, it doesn't seem to have enough of a chance to gain traction before the clones appear. I think this is why all of the successful dropshippers here on YouTube never reveal the exact products or designs that they're selling. The only time I really see people revealing the products or designs that they're selling is after they've moved on to a different product or sold their company. The only example I can think of is Jordan with the company that he just sold. So all of those issues, which might not seem like a huge deal to you, have honestly led me to feel like not even doing the challenge anymore. It really takes all of the fun out of the game. It's already a grind in and of itself to make designs, upload them to Printify, and then post them for sale with good SEO and images and everything that's involved. And then having the work that you do just get copied and stolen, it makes it feel kind of pointless. And it's pointless for the people who are stealing because they're just going to eventually get their shops shut down. Now, I'm not asking you at all to feel bad for me. I'm going to be fine with or without this shop. As far as the challenge goes, I just wanted to let you know how I feel. Now, I know I'll get a lot of comments asking why I didn't use Etsy's legal system to take down all of the stolen listings. First is because it would honestly take a lot longer than it's even worth. The whole process itself takes like 20 minutes to complete each time you do it. And when I tell you that there were literally hundreds of copies, it would take me so long, I'd probably be better off starting a brand new shop or using Shopify or something. Now, while stealing someone's designs or copying them is wrong, I can kind of understand why some people did it. I even had people DM me on Instagram asking me to review their shop while they were selling the listings that I had listed in my own shop. So I don't really know where the confusion is, but obviously this is an issue. And so no hate to those people, but you obviously can't do this. This is the kind of behavior that will get your shop shut down and even get you suspended or have someone sue you. If you weren't copying me in my challenge store, if you were stealing designs from someone who this was their livelihood, you're literally taking food out of their mouth to try and make some quick cash. Not to mention that, but if you end up copying the wrong person or a big brand, you could get slapped with a huge lawsuit. So with all of that being said, where's the challenge going? Am I quitting? And where are we at so far? And I have to say, after a lot of consideration, I think that it would be best if I don't end the series. I've read a lot of the comments on the videos, and you guys seem to really appreciate the insights into what it's actually like to grow a business. And even with the more unique issues that I faced with this challenge shop, maybe this would be able to remind you that it's never super easy, even if it looks that way. While I personally don't entirely want to complete the challenge anymore, I feel like at this point, it isn't even for me. I started the challenge, so I'm going to do my best to hit the goal. If I'm able to hit $100,000 by the end of the year, hopefully it would serve as a proof of concept and give you some motivation and validation for when it feels rough and hard to do, like it does for me right now. Because at the end of the day, doing something and not seeing it pay off right away is really hard to do, and it probably feels the same for you as it does for me right now. It might just be a different reason. Basically, I'm going to proceed with the challenge, and I'm just going to have to be really careful with what I show in the videos. All of the new listings that I'm posting are going to be a lot harder to copy directly. So where are we at right now, and what do we have to do to reach the goal of $100,000? At the moment, we have a total revenue of $8,776.60. Compared to the last update video, that's only like $1,600 more, which is pretty bad. We've only been doing between $300 and $700 a month. So at that rate, we would hit $100,000 after another 184 months. And we're going to try and do it in 244 days. So we need to make $91,000 in less than 7 months. Some of the things that I'm doing to prevent this from happening anymore is changing the name of the shop, obviously, making more complex designs that aren't just text-based. I might use some of the profit from the shop to buy designs off of a website like Creative Market, and we'll be adding watermarks to all of the mockups that we're posting. As for uploading, I'm going to continue to try to upload over 20 designs a day because that seems to be the sweet spot. I might be posting more updates in the community Discord, so be sure to check that out from down below if you're interested. Now, if these clone accounts that I've mentioned become too much of an issue, we might have to look into other options like using Shopify or building some kind of website to drive our own traffic to so that people can't see the designs. That isn't my first choice because Etsy can be super easy for almost anyone to get started with, but if it does come to that, then that could end up being a good option.